Hi, Daniel Faucitt asks, how can we use enterprise architecture in a small business? What could we suggest to a small business owner who's got no real budget at all for enterprise architecture that would still be useful and would build them towards a workable enterprise architecture? Well, there's 4 themes I can think of straight away. The first one is identify what business we're in. Now that sounds like a joke perhaps, but it's more about outside in. It's not about us, but about the shared space in which we operate. So we need to clarify what the drivers are for that space. What would provide the basis for a business architecture. The way we do that is by quickly summarising what concerns everyone in that shared space. What is everyone doing in that shared space? And why does it matter? A really simple example is TED's video, the vision for the TED videos, the TED conferences, which is ideas worth spreading. Everyone's concerned about ideas. What everyone is doing with the ideas is spreading those ideas. And the reason why it's important is because these are ideas that are worth spreading. So 3 words describe the core enterprise in which we place ourselves. That becomes the basis for a business architecture. The next step is to look at what are the vision and values for that shared enterprise and how can we position ourselves in relation to those. So for example, for TED, it's technology entertainment. It's as much about entertainment, it's got to enlighten, to inspire. These are values that drive what matters. And also these are not just any old ideas, these are ideas that matter. So we recognise that everything we do has to, if we're in the TED environment, everything we have to do has to be both inspiring and entertaining, and also that we have selected, curated ideas that matter. These then form the basis for our own decision making within the business, where we position ourselves in relation to that space. Going down into our own practice, there's a really simple phrase that helps to get this over, which is that things work better when they work together on purpose. So what are the things within our organisation? How do they relate? What are they and how do they relate with each other? How can we get them to work better together and more on purpose in terms of how we've positioned ourselves in relation to that broader shared enterprise? So once we've done that, once we start to have an understanding of things work better when they work together on purpose and the need to connect everything together, what we now do is work on the maturity. And there are really a number of simple steps about that. One is, what the heck business are we in, which is what we've just done. How do we clean up the mess of what we've currently got? Because as we go along, things will start to disengage and get messy and get old and need to be reworked. And each time we rework it, we need to make sure it still works better together. Once we've got a solid foundation, we can then build upwards from that, looking outward to the larger space. Then we need to start looking much more outside in, building towards what we call a pull model, where we build a story that gives people a reason to connect with us. And then onward to clean up the mess, to clean up, work with the chaos, be able to work dynamically with whatever's going on. But so these build up in steps of maturity. Sometimes we have to do the later stages first, but we build the maturity as we go along. So 4 simple ideas for a business. Identify the shared enterprise that we're in, that's larger than we are. Identify the vision and values of that enterprise and of how we are relating to that shared enterprise. Develop along these themes of things work better when they work together on purpose, and build to the maturity in the way that we can respond to each of those.